We see the alt-right running around America trying to cry and defend statues, and they talking about, Jews won't replace them and all the other groups won't replace them in blood and soil. You have Trump worrying about black NFL players, and he's worrying about immigrants. He's worrying about all these different people. But if he has a love for his own, and the alt-right supposed to say they care about their people, why is it that you have a horrible epidemic of drugs in your community? Why is it that you're not tackling crystal meth? Why you aren't tackling heroin? Why you aren't tackling the opioids that's running rampant within your community? Now, I was on the road yesterday and I saw some meth heads begging on the side of the road. And let me roll this quick clip that I took yesterday. Well, Trump need to come get his people. They on this meth out here. Y'all need to see this. That poor woman, that's sad. Now they getting them away. That is so sad. And y'all sitting up here talking about black people. This is an epidemic in your community. You need to fix it. Now, as you saw, as I stated, Trump need to come get his people. Instead of having so much energy worrying about black NFL players and all these other group of people, why is it that he isn't focusing on his own group of people? We all don't understand that. You see, they don't really care about their own people. All they care about is racism, period. Because they actually had care for their own. They have a lot of things they need to tackle within their own community, and they do not do this. They will sit here and have white people on the side of the road begging for money in a system of white supremacy that actually benefits them. They don't actually have to have much education to get somewhere in life. They're given the benefit of the doubt in most things with the police and everything else. The world jumps when they say something, and yet they're on the side of the road being meth heads talking about give me money. But yet, if it's black people, when it was a crack epidemic, it was they shouldn't have been using drugs in the first place. They're criminals. They should just get a job, pull themselves up by their bootstraps. That's the criminals that blacks are. Lock them up. But you don't see the police locking them up. And the police pass in that area that I shot that video all the time. Why isn't they locking them up? I mean, they are certified meth heads in that area. I mean, one time I was driving and I saw one of them in the middle of the street and I couldn't get my camera fast enough. And I said, anytime I catch them, I'm going to start filming them and I'm going to start showing them to y'all and say, look, these people got a lot of things they need to be worrying about than worrying about black people all day. See, this is the thing. This is karma coming back on them for putting that crack cocaine in our community, because we didn't have all that stuff in our community until they put it in there. And we all know that Gary Webb, and he lost his life exposing this, that exposed that the CIA put that mess in our community. Now they have their own epidemic, and they so prideful and don't want to expose their hand. And they always try to protect their image so much that they will keep quiet things that's slaughtering them every single day. It's an average of 91 of their own community people dying a day on overdoses with heroin, fentanyl's another one, crystal meth, but they don't want to say anything about this. See, their problems are many, and black people isn't one of them. Not only do they have that crisis, they don't understand why middle-aged white males are just dying off. They don't understand. They don't understand why their suicide rates is through the roof. They don't understand why their sperm count is lower than anybody else's. They don't understand why their birth rate is just low all over the world. But instead of trying to solve all those issues, well, blacks are the problem. If it's not blacks, well, immigrants are the problem. Everybody else is the problem but you. You always say take personal responsibility, but you don't do it for your own community. You talk about respecting the veterans, but yet you have veterans living under bridges. That's within your own community. You have the KKK talking about they love white people, and all these people say white lives matter, but yet there's white people that I took a film of, and yet they're not out there helping them, but put them up to marching in the street, spending money, trying to terrorize black people. Then that's what they are good for. So those so-called white rights, that's what they try to call it now. That's so funny. White rights organizations, they don't care about white people. All they care about is racism. Now, this particular message for sure is directed at the alt-right. It's directed at the Klan. It's directed at any kind of racist that will come to this video. I'm talking to you. I'm not talking to the average listener, because you're the one running around talking about trying to save your community, whoever that is. But yeah, you don't do anything about that. But you're worrying about Chicago, which has nothing to do with you. You don't care about the black people in Chicago. So anytime you hear them say, what about Chicago? Then say, hey, what about that meth? What about that heroin? You know, what about Vegas? You start asking those questions, because they don't have a retort for that. We have to start having our own talking points too. Just as much as they have talking points, when they approach us, we start calling stuff out too. Every time, because we have so many talking points to use against them. We have to push back every single time. But take care of your own community. Worry about yourself. Stop worrying about black people, what they're doing, good or bad. And then maybe your life will go a little bit better for you, because you're imploding on yourself every single day. I'm seeing that. And because you're just not taking care of home first. So we know at the end of the day, you're not going to fix your issues and problems. You're going to try to find some way it's somebody else's fault why you're in the issue you're in. Even though you're in a system that rolls out the red carpet for you, still, that's how it's going to be. So leave me a comment, guys. Let me know what you think about this particular video and what you're talking about those particular meth heads. Share the video, like the commentary, and subscribe for more videos.